everywhere. All right, word. I just want to make sure it's going live on my shit.
What up, lifers? Welcome back. Doing time. Lifers Cast, Season 2, Episode 2.
Two.
We're in the
Two.
house. I'm your host, Dick Rubin, a.k.a. Brad Bailey, or the other way around, whichever one you want to use first. Got my co-host, Speak the Rebel.
Speak the Rebel Media Maven. Buy my album.
And we have our very special guest for our very first Wednesday episode. Special episode for you, my man. Reef the
Yo,
Lost Cauze.
we got platinum level guests now. The
Reef
platinum
the
level.
Lost Cauze.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing tonight?
Good, man. Thank you so much. We appreciate you volunteering for this charity known as the Doing Time podcast.
It's all love, man. Whenever folks reach out, and if I can make it happen, why not? Let's rap. You know what I mean? Let's bust it up.
Absolutely. Brad, you want to lead us off, bud?
Thank you, sir, so much. I appreciate you coming on. Like, seriously.
Of course.
Not just because you're on here, but people know in the group you're in my top 5.
Word?
So, yeah, it's true. It is true.
Into the 5? Damn, that's
Very
love,
true.
bro. That's love, man.
Brad, we gotta act like we've been here, though, bro.
Well, I know. Let me fanboy out for like minute and a half, just a minute.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're gonna just hit you with
I've been following you since
questions.
the beginning.
So,
all right. And 17 years ago, what? Yesterday, Feast of Famine.
17 years ago, yesterday,
wow,
man. I just I every year that anytime anniversaries come up, I'm just like, there's a part of me that's like, that's what's up, and another part of me is like, damn, I'm old as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I feel that big time. How do you feel looking back? So that's an awfully long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people realize how many things change within that time of period, especially in the genre.
Mm-hmm.
Reflecting back over 17 years,
mm-hmm.
completely different genre of music, or you still think that the essence is the same?
I think that the essence is the same. I think that it's always been the same. I think there was a period there where it kind of got kind of pushed to the background. But I feel like right now, I don't think there might not have ever been a better time to be like a 40-year-old rapper, bro. Like a lot of the guys that I've been listening to right now, that are like, killing it are dudes that are a little bit older, that have been around for a while.
Yep.
And they know their voice, they know their sound, and they're not trying to switch it up to the idea of like switching up your whole steez to try to blow up or whatever. I think that's kind of played out right now, right? Like,
it is absolutely.
There are definitely people that do that, but for the most part, there's just like a resurgence of just a hungry MC. And so I feel like right now there were definitely periods, I want to say 2012, 13, 14, like in that range, where I really felt kind of lost out here, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Right now, I feel very confident in the movement and the underground movement. It's growing. It's beautiful. The vinyl sales are through the roof. So it's like it's a good time right now. Right now. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate. Yeah, I feel that way as well. I've always been waiting, man, because it seemed a lot of people aged out.
Mm-hmm.
But I attribute a lot of hip hop to being, a jazz musician.
Yes.
And it's like, yo, if you're a horn player, you could be 85 years old and still dope and listenable and able to identify with, you know what I mean? So right. I like that grown people are making grown music still.
Yeah.
You can tell when someone's faking the funk, especially dudes that did boom bap beats their entire life, and now all of a sudden they're out doing heavy, trap.
Sure.
And I like trap, man. The trap is fine with me, but it's nice that the people that you follow
can be themselves, right?
Exactly.
They're not going into the studio with this idea of I have to have this certain sound to be successful. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I think that that's a testament to the Griseldas and the Rock Marcies and there's just so much beautiful grimy music. And to your point about the horn players, man, I mean, like, if you boys have ever been to like, you know, New Orleans, man,
Oh yeah.
you'll
Yep.
see the livest band you ever heard in your life
Yep.
on a corner
On a
at
corner
2 a.m, and they do
with 25 people dancing.
Right.
bro. But the music is in them, and I feel like that's, you know, that was something that was kind of dissed when it came to MCs, and I don't know why, but I feel like we're kind of getting past that now. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
yeah.
You think the fall of a lot of major labels and dudes doing more independent stuff kind of dictated, you know, sticking with the same sound, you know, with the classic sound? Or
Yeah, I think the labels falling off. I think the internet taking over, you know, the
yeah.
streaming and all that. I think that it just kind of leveled the playing field as far as, you know, people can just get their stuff out there and cut out the middlemen, you know, the band camps and the, you know, it's just it's just so it's never been easier to get your music out there. Now that's not always a good thing because there's a lot of trash out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
also just a lot of just gems floating around there that you might not have heard otherwise. So yeah, I think that definitely all that stuff played a factor, man. I mean, the game changes and you need to, you know, adapt or die. So you know,
Absolutely.
I want,
You know,
I want
people forget there was a lot of whack shit, you know, 20 years ago too. It's just you had
yeah,
to see it live.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
that narrative of like everything was just so beautiful and glorious
Yeah,
and
right.
amazing and like that. There was a ton of just god awful shit. You know what I mean? So you can't. Every era has the good and the bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to bring it back to being yourself. Like,
Mhm.
if people follow you on social media, you're different than most of the MCs out there. You share a lot of
Yeah, I'm
yourself,
oversharer. Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
family. Like the other day, you talk about how your son was like not like adjusting well to the new schools.
Mhm.
Like I keep an eye. I keep an eye, and a lot of people do too. How do you juggle that? How do you juggle that family life,
Mhm.
the work life, the MC life?
Sure. I mean, honestly, brother, there's no juggle. It's all one life, and I feel like that. I
Yep.
feel sad for so many people that their whole. You ever just be around a motherfucker and they're just I'm a rapper, like that's
Yeah,
just it.
yeah,
Like there's no joy, there's no sadness, there's no. It's
Yep.
all, you know, or they're just fucking posting selfies of themselves all day. Like I can't stand people that don't try to show every side of them. If people are following me or people support me and they rock with me, I
It's
want them to
okay.
see all sides of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want them to see like the stuff I deal with in real life because my life is so much more than just music. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
I feel bad for people that are kind of trapped in their image of where they can't, you know, have fun or make fun of themselves or like, you know what I mean? Like, what's like, I don't ever want to be that. So I'm always going to share about what's going on outside of music, maybe more so because I just, I feel like it's like, whenever you know you follow someone, it's so disappointing when the whole setup that they're promoting is just it's just promoting something all
right.
day
Exactly.
long. Let me see
Exactly.
who are you? Who
You're
are you?
not a brand, you're a human
You're a
being.
human being, and I'm on some human shit, bro. So it's really not hard to juggle it, man. I mean, as far as like, you know, time is crazy. You know what I mean? I definitely don't have as much time as I'd like to if I'm focusing on one suffering. You know, if I'm going on the road, my family and my wife are, you know, trying to survive without me, and if I'm not making music, I'm not as happy as I would be if I was. So it's like it's always going to be a challenge and a balance. But again, like I said, that's part of life, you know. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
pour that into your music too. You can do it.
absolutely.
You have such a range. Like you
Mhm.
can throw comedy in there. You can make people cry. You
It's
can battle somebody and rip their face off.
I
You do
just
it all.
if you listen, bro, like honestly, man, I'm just mirroring my shit off of like all the albums we came up loving. There was all of
Yep.
that, right? It
Absolutely.
wasn't just
Absolutely.
this, I'm this for 10, 12 songs. It was like you got a little bit of humor, you know what I mean? You look at a record like never not saying I could ever make anything as dope, but like you look at something like Capital Punishment. He was doing exactly that. Penn was giving you his pain. He was giving you his I'm the illest MC ever. He was giving you the comedy. He was giving you joints about, you know, having fun. He was mixing it up. And those are the records I came up listening to. And I guess it's embedded in my mind that like when we do an album, we're going to touch on many different things. And as long as the spirit and the soul has the same vibe, it's going to flow. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I've learned, especially, you see, I've modeled a lot of be a human being stuff, my own personal stuff off of, what Sean Price did.
Yes, sir.
Sean was just a regular dude, man. And you talk about his wife, you talk about his kids on record. It's like you knew these people. He gave life to them.
Sure.
We got a question that just came in. Does your family enjoy your music? Is it something they share? Is it something they share in with you?
Yeah. So I mean,
the stigma.
My mom will never shut up about me. You know what I'm saying? She's the most proud woman in the world. My cousins, everybody rocks with me. Now, I'll be honest, in the beginning, bro, every show, everything I did, everyone was there. But after 20 years, it's like, we'll pull up for like, oh, you're rocking with, you're with KRS tonight. We'll come to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
KRS. So it's not, the support and love though has always been there. My kids, they think it's cool, but like my son, he doesn't want to. He'll be like, yo, can you put on Pop Smoke? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I respect it. I get it. He's 8 years old. He's like, this music sounds like it's from the 1800s. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, the support and love, and I think that's a big thing that has kept me going too, because I know a lot of people that, they had to kind of choose, and my family never made me do that. Everyone understands that, because it's like, oh, I'm a rap, I'm gonna do my music, but I'm also gonna handle my business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not gonna be no lacking on the father tip on the house responsibilities. That's gonna be taken care of too. But I'm still gonna. I gotta go out here and do this because this is who I am. So, but yeah, they rock with it a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah,
absolutely. You still got that one aunt that's like, you still making your little rap songs?
That's my Uncle Skip.
Yeah, there you go. See,
yeah.
You've been around the world, and it's still your little rap songs.
Yeah, you still doing that goofy shit? Like he's like the straight. Like he's like, he'll like say you put on weight. He's that guy that just kind of like the ball buster, you know what I mean? And it's honestly, bro, I got to a point where I tell him, nah, man, I stopped doing it. You know what I mean? Because he don't know no better. He's like, that's good. Yeah, they're hiring down at the city. You need to, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right.
You're right. A town job.
Yeah. But that shit don't bother me, man. Like it used to really, like when people would be like, and I made a post about this not too long ago about how you should approach that. Like, don't be like, are you still doing this? Be like, yo, how's that going? Because it's there's an indication there when people do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
When they're like, you still doing, it's like, I know what you're trying to say. And it's like, yes, I am still. I am.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So speaking of performances, so we like to dig in a little. Mm-hmm. We try and ask questions that other people aren't necessarily asking. Favorite artists you've performed with, and best/worst show. We all have horror stories from shows. You don't have to name names, none of that.
Worst show.
I got one of my first shows, for example. I got booked in with like 3 metal bands, and one of them was like apparently like some sort of white power band, and it ended in this big brawl, and my mother was throwing beer bottles at people. It was a whole thing. So
man.
I'm sure you got some good tales and some bad tales.
Sure.
This is tales from the road right here.
Yeah. So the best show will always be, it was called the Around the Way Jam. It was actually in the city of Philadelphia. It was my first big festival gig. It was Woo, EPMD, Red. So obviously Woo was there. So Red and Meth performed. Boot Camp Click, Jedi.
Everyone.
So and this was 2006. So P was he was doing the Boot Camp Click thing, but then he came out and did solo stuff. I literally was doing cartwheels, bro. I literally did a cartwheel. Like it was one of the best days of my life. That show, I've done a lot of shows, but that was the first one, man, where it was like, backstage with the wristband and your body just set, and it made me feel like, yo, I'm really doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first show, I mean, bro, there was one in Canada, man, where like it was like some kid's like birthday party.
Jesus. And was he aware that you were playing, or you just happened to be there during?
I don't even know,
party?
Dude. I don't know the way I remember it. I just remember there was mad taxidermy on the walls. We had to like rig.
Nice.
We had to rig the tables to like, it was just the most ridiculous shit. There was one where it was supposed to be Mos Def, and
oh no shit.
Basically the week of the show, I'm asking all these questions and I'm not getting feedback from the promoter. You boys been around long enough to know what that means. You know what I'm saying?
That's the best ever. It's great. It's awesome, isn't it? When you're like, yo, what time are we going on, man? Like, I'm trying to get ahead of this.
I'm getting the runaround. This is supposed to be like the opening first hip hop show. At this venue, it's this new venue called the Ave.
The American Legion.
No, it's like it's this like really nice venue. Most is supposed to play. We're supposed to play a couple other guys. The promoter, who already is, he has a reputation. I should have known better. But this dude's still pushing it and promoting it and telling us everything's good. We knew it was the opening of this venue, so we're like, we're not too far. Me and my DJ, we were rehearsing for the show. I'm like, you know what? Let's stop by there, bro. We go in there. There's like workers in there, still like putting up lights,
still building the venue.
This is like the night before the show. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Man, that's one. And then the one I always go back to, this, it didn't happen to me per se, but I was a part of the show. But when my homies first got there to the venue, restaurant, or whatever, the guy that was running the spot was like, oh yeah, do you have the stage?
Did you bring the stage?
Did you bring the stage with you?
Did you bring the fucking stage?
Nice.
Like they just had it in their fucking car.
Like, yeah, we got that. Hold on. Yeah.
But I mean, dude, there have been some. I mean, I would really have to. I wish you guys would have asked me this before, because I could have sat all day and just wrote them down. But that would be the whole interview. So.
Well, I mean, I know you've played hundreds and hundreds of shows. So
sure. Yeah, man, and that's the thing.
We try and get the grimiest,
right.
You know.
Yeah, and at this point, bro, it's like I'm always super, super grateful when they go great and there's a good crowd and everything goes smoothly. But I'm also grateful for the shitty shit, because it's a memory, number one, and number two, it's like, you know, at a certain point, eventually that phone's gonna stop ringing. There ain't gonna be no show offer. So every chance we get, man, let's rock, let's have some fun, you know.
Absolutely. You still find it fun after all this time?
Absolutely, you have to, bro.
Absolutely.
You have to. I don't find the waiting fun. I just did a show recently where, you know, it was still early. It was like 11:30, but even being out that late, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm old now, so it's like the hanging out at the shows. The hanging out at the shows, I usually try to get there a little bit, you know, check a couple acts, perform, get my bread, and be going. Where before I would hang out. So that part I'm not too much into anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I like rocking with like the legendary acts, like, you know, KRS, Slick Rick Kane. That shit's doors are at 7, shows at 8. They're on at 9. You're home by 10:30.
Yep. Absolutely. Who would you say your favorite person that you've played with would be at this point? I'm sure there's a list a mile long.
Yeah, man. Diggable Planets were great. You know, the Philly guys have always been wonderful. Freeway, Beanie, all those dudes. Dead Prez might be, because that first that first album was sentimental.
Huge.
It's one of my favorite rap albums of all time. It's up there in my top 2 or 3, honestly. And I've gotten a chance to play with them, and you know, they were the genuine article. That's the thing that I look for, is like, are you the guy that like I grew up idolizing? Are you still that person? Are you are you a dickhead? Are you really kind? You know what I mean? Like,
it's the worst when you start playing with your idols and they turn out to just be terrible humans.
Yeah, you don't want that "don't meet your heroes" moment.
No. So no, I will say, you know, there have been a few people that I didn't genuinely like their disposition, but for the most part, man, rappers are good guys. They got to try to act tough on the internet, but they're good people.
Exactly. We try and remove the tough guyness. I wish this genre would just lighten up sometimes. Not even substance wise, but just as people. Like, yo, relax, man. Like, everything's fine.
I think the funniest thing for me is just kind of like, you know, I mean, there's definitely real dudes that are a part of this shit, but for the most part, man, like 95% of people is just like, I'm not buying it anyway. So you're doing all this. You're kind of wasting both of our times with the hard shit. Like you rap, bro. Like you're on camera every day, so there's not too much that like I would think you were really a part of anyway. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And speaking of like people, how they act on the internet, we do a little segment here called Tales from the Internet.
Tales from the internet.
This could be something
This
good,
is my favorite.
something bad, something grimy. What's your like craziest, weirdest experience?
My follow up to that is this: what is the weirdest thing someone's ever tried to trade you for a verse? Because you know that's in there, man. We've all had that.
You know, with the trade for the verse thing is usually like I got beats, or I can get you a show in my town, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's like
nothing wild.
Nothing wild. Yeah,
I've been offered OnlyFans subscriptions for verses. Like, yo, I'll let you get on my girl's OnlyFans. Like, bro, like what?
That's weird.
Yeah.
My, you know, I've definitely had run-ins with, you know, weird energy, weird people, all that stuff. But the story that I'm probably gonna be telling like 20 years from now, there's this dude from Philly named, I'm gonna say his name because I hate his guts. His name's Francis. His name's Francis Lassner.
Francis Lassner, bro. We got him for
weirdo fucking kid. Weirdo kid, but he was always a fan of myself, you know, AOTP. He was, you know, he's a fanboy. Good, you know, he definitely had his demons. But it was more like just like he's like a goofy drunk weirdo. But then he became one of those, I don't even know how to say the word right. Q dudes.
Oh, like, one of those crazy people.
He went off the deep end, bro. Like he was at literally, there's photos of him at the January 6th. He was there. Like, he's that dude. And I guess because I am, you know, a snowflake liberal leftist or whatever, like
you're part of the liberal mob.
Whatever I am, because I want people to be like, you know, housed and clothed and treated with dignity and respect.
Yeah.
That's what I am. Whatever.
People shouldn't die of curable diseases.
Sure. That's, you know, that's neither here nor there. But this dude would like, I'd make a post about like, say the BLM uprisings or something like that. And he would like tag the FBI and be like, Antifa, like, you know what I mean? Shit like that. But then he took it even further, bro. He made a fucking Instagram page. I don't know if I can find the link for your followers out, because I think it's hilarious. But he made an Instagram page and it's all like deep fakes of my face on like Trump, like dancing around. And like, bro,
really?
Like memes of like, yo, it's like a whole like psychotic, like I actually got kind of shook at one point. Like this is a bit much, bro. But then of course I saw him in real life and he turned into Usain Bolt. So it lets you know the internet is like, but to me, bro, like, you know, I've had like funny shit, weird shit, but that right there, that's gonna be like, he took the time to like I really like my face was literally on Trump's body, like dancing around. He had like my songs playing in the background, like it was fucking. But yeah,
the weirder and more complex they get with it, the creepier it is.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because
and he's already, like I said, he was already a little off his rocker, and like, you know, the last like 5 years, he's just going whoop. So, but that, yeah, I would say that would probably be the weirdest. I mean, you know, there's been internet beefs and shit like that with rappers over the years, but that right there was like nobody's ever taken the time to do all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So if you want to impress Reef, man, Photoshop him dancing around. Y'all make it in the history books. Circling back around real quick, back to Dead Prez. And obviously, man, I've been listening to you forever, since I was a boy. Since
no, you get that now, man. You get that. Like I would listen to you when I was in grade school, shit, man. I'm like, fuck.
I was in high school. I was in high school when I discovered you.
Okay.
So circling back around to Dead Prez, though, how important do you think the activism part of writing and, you know, having a moral compass is as far as hip hop goes? I feel a lot of people, especially now, tend to stray away from it, but I personally like when people lean into it, man. I liked when Pharaoh Monch leaned into it. Black Thought leaned into it. You know what I mean? How important do you think that is, not only to the music but to the general culture?
Yeah, I think diet is about balance, and when we're talking about hip hop diet, there's only so much anarchy and violence I can hear. I also need to hear a balance of that, and I think that the activism part that you're talking about, the educating people, like that Dead Prez record, there was like literally it was an instruction manual. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
about how
absolutely.
to take care of your body. They had songs about like,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm
Foods
saying?
to eat,
Right.
things
I
to
feel like
drink,
I feel like
alkaline. I remember
sure.
that song.
Sure. People get like you said, people stray from it because you don't want to get, I guess, tagged as, just that. I think that might be the issue is why people stray from it, is because if you get the, conscious tag, which isn't a bad tag to have, that's all people expect from you and they don't want you to grow. But for me, I just feel like it's important to, there are people listening to this that may not know. We assume
Absolutely.
everybody knows, and a lot of people don't know a lot of that. I learned so much about the first time I ever heard of Malcolm X was through rap music, and I know that's crazy to
Absolutely.
say, but
Absolutely.
back
No,
then,
man, it's true.
that's how much there was so much knowledge being given, and I think that of course we don't want to hear that shit all fucking day, bro. If I'm drinking and smoking, I'm not trying to hear somebody telling me brush your teeth, like I'm not trying to hear that, right? But there are times where I'm world weary and I'm sad about the violence and I'm sad about the way people are being treated. And I want to hear a fucking song that reflects that and talks about that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
From a
Absolutely.
real perspective. And that's why I just always loved like the poets, man, because a poet is able to do all that. He's able to make you have fun, make you reflect, and able to talk about the ills of the world and society. Hip hop was the first CNN, you know what I mean? For me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I was getting
I was
excited.
good. I was finished.
We have a couple of fan questions.
Fan questions.
All right.
One of them is, who's your favorite Philly artist?
Black Thought.
Yeah, thank you.
There's no hesitation with that. That's
Excellent.
the greatest. That's the greatest MC ever to me. Like obviously I'm biased because I'm from Philly, but I mean, you listen to that new record, dude. Nobody's rapping like that. And he's 50-something years old. So Thought all day, always.
We were talking about that last night.
Yeah, he's the only one in the city as far as reputation, as far as catalog that I'm chasing, and that's on my mama. You know what I'm saying? That's real shit.
Absolutely.
He's the only one. The only one.
That him to me is a prime example of an MC that's gotten better with age.
Yo,
I mean,
bro.
like don't get me back in Jesus, I've been listening to Roots since like 96.
Right.
But it was dope then. And then now all this time later, we're talking more than 20 years. Like, dude is still.
See, here's the thing, bro. What people I don't think realize is before the Tonight Show shit, the Roots were on the road like 300 days of the year.
Yes.
He had the time. Yep. Once they got the Tonight Show, if you notice, that's right around the time where he went from like great to like just. It's because he has the time now. The stress of we got to be on the road all this time to make money. They got the Tonight Show gig, and now he's able to do his 5 days a week working on TV, make great money, and then have time to really write. And once he had that time, it's like, whoa, you know?
It's been wild to see. It's also, how cool is it to see the Roots on late night TV?
I love it, man.
And I love it's.
Yeah, I love the fact like they give that show, like half those music artists, they don't. You can't tell me people at NBC know who those are. Like that's questioning all them bringing them in. So I think it's great.
Absolutely,
it's great.
Absolutely. That was my Super Bowl moment before the Super Bowl. Is like to the Roots on late night, and then Jimmy Fallon had Griselda on, which I thought was the greatest thing ever, man.
You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't some NBC executive. That's what happens when you have the Roots as your musical band. They'll be like, "Yo, check these guys out." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, to see some like Midwestern grandmother in the crowd,
sure.
You know, well, West Side is saying "right brick on my brick." You know what I mean? Like,
how far
it was a proud moment.
What else?
The other fan question we had was, when do we get to see another AOTP record? Ooh, yeah. Everybody wants that.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I'll be honest with you. If it does happen again, which I doubt, I mean, you know, we did what was it, 2006 the first record dropped, the last one dropped in 2014. So that's 8 years, almost a decade of, you know, damn near 12. You talking about like damn near a basketball team of MCs. People have gone in different directions. People have grown in different directions. I love all those guys, but I can honestly say that if there was to be another AOTP record, I don't think I would be a part of it, simply because that was a moment in time that I don't think you don't want to try to recapture something that was for that era and for that time. You know what I'm saying? We dropped 6 records, I think, man. Everybody gave their all. I believe that legacy is cemented. Again, I love all those guys, but if they were to do another record, I don't think that I would be a part of it, simply because we did it already. We did it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not my, you know, that's Paz's group. So if he were to decide he wanted to reassemble or redo it with that's on them. But I'm out of that. You know what I mean? I'm out of that. Yeah, straight up.
You heard it here, maybe possibly first.
I mean, I don't think I've ever gone on record. I think it's understood and established. I mean, honestly, bro, like with, you know, so much has happened over the last couple of years that I honestly could not see that happening again. You know what I'm saying? Do you hear my daughter crying in the background?
Yeah, but it adds flavor.
All right.
This is real life.
Right.
This is real life.
We love real life.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I guess, like, you know, so much has happened, so much has changed. You know, it's really hard to manage and maintain that many different personalities, man. And especially, you know, rappers, man, we got egos, we got
it's like being married.
You know what I mean? And it's just like I don't think that anybody really would want to do that again. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. You know, they got together for the Blackistan joint. I was actually asked to be a part of that. Things didn't work out for whatever reason, but it's all love always. We, you know, my whole youth was spent rolling around with those guys and tearing down stages and tearing down tracks. So it's love forever. But you know, in life, sometimes you just got to move forward. And I feel like everybody kind of feels the same way. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I'm saying all that to say to your fans and anyone watching and listening, I doubt you'll ever get another Army of the Pharaohs record. You know what I mean? And that's just being honest. You know, it's been almost.
It's all right, man. Those are classics.
Yeah, and
those are, you know,
it was great for the time. It was great. You know, you got Esso doing Czarface, killing it. Apathy's about to drop a monster of a record. Planet and Crip are coming back with Outer Space. They're dropping new music. You know, Self's always popping up. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You know what
Freddy Krueger glow.
Yeah, you know, he's always popping up. And of course, you know, Paz is steady dropping JMT and Paz solo records. So you still get AOT, you know. I'm leaving myself out of this, but you still get music from everybody's still putting out music, bro. You know what I mean?
I'm sure everyone's still working with each other in different ways too.
In different ways, bro. And it's like even without the music shit, it's like, you know, Planet just had his 44th birthday party. We were all there. Everybody was there drinking, having a good time, but nobody was like, yo, let's go to the studio now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So all right, so speaking on that, so moving ahead, quick couple questions. How do you feel about the current environment release-wise? It seems, you know, quantity is starting to possibly replace quality. As an artist, how do you feel, you know, the best way to respond to that is for yourself to stay relevant? Do you feel you need to drop more often? Do you feel that I'd be interested in hearing about that?
I don't, man. I don't. I make albums. And when I have I make full bodies of work, and I know that we're in the singles. I would not tell anyone that's trying to come up right now to do it my way. I'm 20 years deep, bro. This is all I know.
Yeah, and you got to base and
I can't drop a new song every week, bro, because there's no what's the story? What's the tale that you're telling, you know?
Absolutely. You got to live some life.
I get it. And it's like when you see these artists that are putting out, you know, 5-6 projects a year, whatever, God bless them. But, you know, I would wager most times out of the 5 or 6, maybe 2 of those projects are really dope. Then you get like 2 that are like, and then you get like 2 that are terrible. You know what I'm saying? And you could have taken those 2 really good projects and put them together as one. and dropped it like that. I still believe in rolling out, you know, dropping a single, dropping another single, shooting videos, release date, all that. It's a fun thing for me to be like, yo, I haven't done anything in a year and a half, 2 years. I've lived life. I've experienced this. I've thought about things that I want to talk about now that I maybe hadn't talked about before. Okay, now we're getting the beats together. This concept will go great with this beat. Now we're in the studio. Now we're working. Now the album's done recording wise. Now we're going to start adding the bells and whistles and the cuts and the interludes. And now we got to put it in order. And now we got to get the artwork. And it's a whole, like, I get so happy thinking about the process of it all that it's just like, I can't taint it by just throwing shit out there. And again, I never want to sound like the old man yelling at cloud. Do you? Yeah. Please, I beg of you, do not listen to me. Do it your way, but this is my way. My way is the old school way. And you said about the relevant thing, and it's like, listen, if I come back around and people have moved on, you know, I understand, but at the same time, I'm not going to stop doing it that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to chase nobody. I feel like if you're here, if you've been around as long, you know that I'm going to come with some quality. You know I'm not going to half-ass it. That's a brand you can trust. You know what I'm saying? So I take my time with it. I really try to craft really good bodies of work, and that's how I feel about it, man. Like, I would never tell anyone to do it a different way, but that's my way. I feel like I agree with you. I think it's every Friday is when new music supposedly drops. There's like, what? Just on hip hop alone, there's like 70 new releases, bro. How do you keep up with that? How do you navigate that? You know, it's overwhelming. So, you know.
Yeah, it's a topic.
That's why you drop on a Tuesday. This is a very hotly contested item within our group.
The switch to Friday was weird, man. And who the fuck made that rule?
It was always Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody said, "Oh shit, people get paid on Fridays. Let's have them all drop on Friday so they spend their money on Friday." That's Tuesday, what happened. Yeah,
Tuesday.
That's a little thing around here. We the flooding.
What team? Who's for Tuesday? Who's for Friday?
All of us are Tuesday people.
Yeah.
Except for
all right.
I'm not saying any names, but this cat I rap with named Sha Elemental, who's watching right now, swears by Friday, and we get in beef every time to the point where now he is, if my name is on the album, it does not drop unless it's a Friday.
Is the theory the like you said, the fact that people get paid and are more probably buy it quicker?
Probably. And shout out to Sha. I love Sha. All right.
Shout out, bro. Shout out.
We put polls up about this. All right. There's a hotly contested subject. Yeah. Even I saw Ransom the other day said he's gonna drop on a Wednesday. And you know what? I was very proud of that. I'm gonna buy it just because it's coming out on a Wednesday.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you gotta look at like, yo, if a certain date is special to you, you know what I'm saying? And it falls on a fucking Wednesday or a Saturday, you know, if you want to drop a record on Halloween and it falls on a Thursday this year, you know what I mean? Like whatever,
absolutely.
Drop it whenever. But I just find it real. I just Tuesday was all my whole life, and it was just like now it's Friday, and it felt.
We got a Tuesday vote.
Yeah,
we got the A-list Tuesday vote right now.
Yeah.
All right, so Sha, you bring this up again, bro. I'm gonna say, listen, I know real industry insiders that I've spoken with that drop on Tuesday.
It's not changing.
So speaking of dropping, what did you drop this year? You dropped a project this year. I also you would let me know ahead of time you're working with the Eagles.
Yeah, man.
Philadelphia Eagles who lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl during Tom Brady's greatness. You know what I'm saying? So
we got one back on them though.
You got one. You did. I'll give you that. I forgot about that one. They made Brady into a meme on that one.
That one hurt. How you feel about old boy? Right, he's looking bad out there, right? In Tampa.
I'm so pissed at him. It's not even funny.
He should have left, right? He should have left. He should have walked off into the sunset, man.
He should. And he got his cheeks done now. It's
so bad, bro.
You know, He was just a gawky West Coast dude that they pulled off the bench,
Right.
He was Rocky Balboa, and now he's getting his cheeks done, and you know he needs a certain amount of vacation before he'll even come to training camp. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts. And Tampa, who goes to Tampa for anything? I mean, no offense to Tampa. I'm not sure how big the Tampa viewership is, and we all love Tampa, but also who's going to Tampa for anything? Unless it's like strippers. I feel like that is like that's like the Eiffel Tower of strippers.
Tampa
Bay.
Tampa's on some wild down there, man. Yeah, girls going wild shit. That's I
Tampa,
literally
New Orleans.
That's where they used to literally like film girls going wild. Was like Tampa.
It makes total sense, dude. It's the Providence of the South.
There you go.
Always getting
Brad's from Providence, so
Brad,
you know, we got the Boston Providence rivalry here. That goes way back to like the 1700s. I think.
Really? I never knew about that beef, man. It was some like Quaker beef and shit.
Providence is the New Jersey of New England.
Okay.
All right.
When you say it like that, I understand what you're trying to say.
It's where every call girl, drug dealer in the world lives.
Okay.
They congregate. I don't know why. Why is that, Brad?
I think because everything's so close together. Like, you can just walk 2 miles down the street and be in another town. So
got you.
I think that's what it is.
How far Providence is close to Mass? Like, is it?
It's an hour, 45 minutes, an hour away.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever been there. I might have drove through, but I might have been there before.
Yo, trust me, it's a drive-through state.
Oh, thank you.
You shouldn't really like that, bro.
No,
actually, I'm actually on the radio down in Providence on WBRU, so shout out to them.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to
But we got another little
segment. As far as the
no, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna finish this question about as far as the drop, Reef the Lost Cauze is alive, which is a follow-up to Reef the Lost Cauze is dead. Basically, me and my DJ, this is an album between albums. It's still an album, but it's basically just like we take a lot of our favorite samples, we loop them, we keep the hooks in. It's almost like a remix project. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm rapping over songs that I really like and have dope beats and dope hooks, and I wish they were mine. So we just jack them. And it's always a good time. Both projects are really great and they're really different. It's still the same, like as we've been talking about, a little bit of everything on there, life shit, real shit, rap shit. That and then they have the Eagles playlist, poster playlist. It's some shit. Basically, every home game, the Eagles got Philly artists to do an anthem for that home game. They play it. Nice. It's on their website. It's going to be on their, whatever. Tickets to the game, blah blah blah. It's gonna go, and that's what the year's been so far. Those two things have been pretty much what I've been working on. Yep.
But who's producing the you had said your DJ. Who's producing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So my partner, basically my DJ partner. We've been working together for the last like 12 years. Caliph now. He used to be Vyro the Virus, rest in peace, his DJ and producer. So we were always fam. And then when Vyro passed, he and I, through grief and different the fact that we both kind of like, I needed a DJ and a producer and someone to help me kind of guide things a little bit better. And he had just lost his best friend and artist. We came together, and it's been great ever since, man. Just having someone like him. I tell everybody you need a Caliph, man. Like, he's the guy that, like, I don't know technical stuff. I don't really know logistic stuff. He's the brains of the operation. I just show up and do music. You know what I mean? And he allows that. So God bless him. Shout out to Caliph now.
Absolutely. So he engineers you as well as producers?
He engineers, records me. He helps me put the records together. He helps me, we do the business together as far as like merchandise. Deals with when we get to the show, dealing with all the fucking people running all around asking questions. He handles pretty much a lot of the dirty work, bro. I give him ultimate
that's
props.
Huge.
You know what I'm saying?
Huge.
You know what I mean?
I don't think people realize how slept on engineers are too, especially to the the producer and the MC gets a lot of love, but in this particular, generation of MCs, especially with streaming services, and it's easy to put things out independently. How important you think the engineer's role is now, especially having a good one?
I mean, bro, just having that like, you and I both been doing this for a minute. You know how weird it is to go to somebody's studio and just record with people you don't really know.
Absolute weirdest.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the worst.
There's mad people in there smoking, and I get it. Sometimes that's fun, but I love having. He has the ill home studio with all the rap. It looks like Rap City, the basement. You know what I mean?
Nice,
posters,
nice.
Collectibles. It's just me and him.
Yep.
I got my shoes off. He's got a little dog that sits on the couch with us.
I love it, man.
Like that's where that's where I make my music, and he makes me sound good. He keeps it honest with me, like, yo, you need to do that again, and I don't take offense, which I probably would if it was someone I didn't know like that. He knows how I like the mic to sound. He knows when I'm not doing enough, when I'm overdoing it. Like, we have that symbiotic relationship, bro, and he's like essential to everything. Like, and just the fact that if I called him, right now, it's like, yo, I got an idea for something, he'll be like, yo, come on through if he's free. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
That's so important. But the engineer, man, like, if you don't know how to record yourself, and you don't know how to mix, and you don't know how to, work Pro Tools or whatever the fuck,
you
need someone that does it and likes doing it and isn't going to make you feel like, how long you gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We're in this together, man. Yeah,
there's not a bevy of emotional support dudes there.
Right, emotional support rappers.
That's my least favorite part, man. Someone rolls through and it's like, damn, it's 7 dudes.
Fucks and then, of course, all up.
One of them has a degree in audio engineering, and he's trying to fill everyone in on how it should sound.
Right. Or he's telling you about the guy that's telling you about all the shit that he's doing and wants to show you his Instagram. Like, look at me, look at me. Yeah. Like, I fucking hate, like, that's why, bro, I don't even be telling people I rap, bro. Like, I can't stand like that element of it. Like, you meet cool people here and there, but then you meet a lot of people that, like, it turns into this weird pissing contest. Like,
yes, it does.
I don't want no parts of that, man. I'm too old.
It turns into wrestling. It turns into WWF.
Sure.
Everybody cutting a promo.
Yeah, seriously. So
we have another little segment here we like to call "What's Your Issue?"
What's your issue?
It could be anything. Not
good, bad.
Related. Yeah, anything in the world. Something small, something big.
Yeah. Right now, because it's fresh in my mind, my issue is, if you have a kid in sports and you are not the coach, please just sit down somewhere. I always thought the whole football.
Are you coaching?
I am not. My son.
You're not coaching.
My son is a starting running back on his team. Last year had a breakout MVP season. He's on pace to do it again. Great kid.
Good for him.
Awesome running back. Starting running back. Manny Lacy, number 23.
There you go. Shout out.
I show up with him. I lace his shoes or whatever. I make sure he's got his water in his mouthpiece. And I go sit down and I drink my tea and I smoke my cigs and I play on my phone. If he needs help, I come over. These maniacs are screaming at their kid, at the coaches, at the other. The fucking kids are crying, dropping the football because their dad's like on the, like, bro, my issue, I guess, would be, unless you're coaching, if you have a kid playing sports, let the coaches do their job, sit down, and don't be insane. They're 7-8-year-old kids. I don't care if they're in high school.
Wow, we're talking 7-8-year-olds, huh?
Dog,
even at that level.
It was one of those things that, like, you see the clips on TV and on YouTube of the crazy parents on the sideline.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is like rare, but like, bro,
those are
like
the greatest.
it's like, it's a big ass field. It's a big ass field. And it's like, the 10-year-olds are over here, the 12-year-olds, the 8-year-olds. And if you just walk through each little area, there's some dad screaming his head off, man. And I'm like, this is insane, bro. You know what I mean? It gives me anxiety. You know what I mean? Like, and my son's sensitive to all that shit. So he's like looking around like,
yeah, of course.
I'm like, bro, just focus on the game. And it's like, you wonder why your kid's crying and messing up. It's because you got to, like I said, if you're not there to coach, sit down. So that's my issue. My issue
I
right
like
now,
that. That's
'cause
general life advice as well. You're not
it's
going to
why
coach.
it's why I
Sit
don't even
down.
when I texted you the guys that I was going to be 5 minutes behind, it's because there was like a parent meeting afterwards where like it's just
I love it, man.
for 8-year-olds it's way too much, man. You know what I mean?
It's those parents that live vicariously through their kids, you know,
Right.
and that's crazy because
Yeah, that's what it is, bro.
damaging the child. That's damaging the child every time they do it.
You ever come across stage parents?
Oh man,
I've come across a lot of those at rap shows, and it's like,
though that they might be worse, man, because dudes are, we're all visceral. Everything it's with like the stage parents, it's like they're on some like sneaky, like they might like, have a fucking boulder dropped on their head in the middle of the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I want to shout my stage mom out, who continuously, as a teenager, would yell at me to not, quote, blow the mic. So I learned mic control from my mom yelling at me from the middle of the crowd.
Shout out, Mom.
Ma, stop blowing the mic. So
Listen,
thank you. Thank you,
nothing worse
Mom.
than motherfuckers like this.
Yeah. But here's the thing, there'd be a pause, all right, we're gonna do the next song. Stop blowing the mic.
Mom's is on it, yo.
When you got an angry Lebanese lady who I nickname Suzanne Hussein, because her name is Susan. I also call her Mama Jihad.
Mama Jihad. Shout out Mama Jihad.
But she don't play. That's So stage parents, I grew up the victim of one. And luckily, my breath control is much better, though.
There you go. Oh, that's her. Hi.
Yep.
Oh, that's my mom.
Oh, you're welcome.
Who let my mother on?
That's
See, I like that you mentioned your son, because I don't think a lot of people realize that a lot of us are just working class MCs with families.
Oh, yeah.
With family. You're talking about, most people have, I tell people I'm going to the studio to record, and they have this vision of, what you might see on some bad TV show of like, oh shit, there's gonna be, oh shit, was there bitches there, blah blah blah. so to hear you be like, yo, I kicked my shoes off, there's a little dog on a couch. Sorry, I had a parent teacher meeting. Right. That's the part of hip hop that I wish more people would understand.
Yeah, man.
Especially when it comes to the perception of the genre to the public at large, because it's like, yo, like, listen, we have families, we have jobs, we have things, we have nice things, we have responsibilities. We're not like, again, the music may be aggressive sometimes, or we may be talking about things that we've seen or been a part of, but it's like, yo, like, we're still regular human beings.
Listen, man, like I had a
do you find the perception still,
I think
feels that way sometimes?
I think I think there's a bunch of different perceptions. I think there's a perception that if it's not the way you described it, with the bottles and the chicks, that it's not successful. It's not you're not really doing it. You know what I mean? I think the perception is that anything that you don't see on TV or Instagram means that someone is not actually a part of this. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The working class. And it's something that I've been discussing with different creative people about how we can tell that story, whether it be a movie, documentary, animated series of the working class musician, because that's a tale that I don't think, bro, there would be times where like, and me and Planet would laugh about this. There'd be times where we would be, overseas at a festival, 20,000 kids losing their shit, and then we're back in Philly at work.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like that's a mind fuck, dog. And like, that I had a mentor in college. It was the only good thing about college. But he told me, because I was going for film, I was going to be a filmmaker. He told me, he was like, the reality of it is that most people that are going to do anything with the arts, this is what it's going to be. You're going to make art, or you're going to have to find other ways to feed yourself. I did the starving artist thing when I was in my 20s. I did the just getting by, or but I have a family, I have a mortgage, I have things I have to take care of. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
you can't let your pride of, oh, I'm only going to eat. And listen, I know a lot of people that are able to just eat off their art, and that's what's up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I pray that reality becomes real for everyone that wants that lifestyle to
absolutely
just live off. But until that comes, you can't be on here begging and crying and complaining.
Exactly.
You gotta get up, and you a grown fucking man, bro. You gotta go out and get it. You know how many my hand is in 7 different pots, bro.
Absolutely.
Everywhere because I need it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's nothing I won't do. And I think that the ego in rap, the pride in rap, the idea that if I'm not selling this amount, if I'm not making this amount, then I'm not a success. I'm not doing it. Bro, there are millions and millions of people that do music, that act, that make films. You know what I'm saying? Like that do all these different disciplines in art that no one has any idea who they are. They don't get booked for nothing. They don't make any money. They don't do. Those people would kill to be Speak the Rebel. They would kill.
Well, I mean, we can aim a little bit higher, but
no, I'm saying you can.
I feel you.
You're doing things in your discipline. There are people that are just in the studio making music that no one ever hears. They never get a show. They never do. Those people. So it's all about perspective, right? I would love to be this guy up here, but I'm the guy that I am right here. So I'll keep working at that. But I have to be grateful for the fact that there are people that actually know me, support my music, support my dream, and have been doing so for 20 years. If you can't find gratitude in that, because you still have to hustle other ways to make money, you're not going to make it. You got to have the belief in yourself that one day you can get where you want to get. But in the meantime, you got to just keep grinding, bro. Like there's so much entitlement with this shit now. There's so much like.
That was going to be a follow-up question of mine, exactly that you're touching on right now is, again, perception of even a lot of our favorite MCs still have to work, still working. Acrobatic, is another Boston dude that, like, same thing, man, would be out in Europe, come home. He worked at a convenience store. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, actually, one of my best friend's fathers growing up is he's a tenured Berkeley professor. He's a classical conductor of the Providence Philharmonic Orchestra. Been everywhere, man. Vienna, France, all this. And one of the most important things that I learned early on, especially from him, is he was like, check it, like, I'm all over the world. I'm hanging with ballerinas and models. I still have to come home and pick up the dog shit in the yard. Literally. And I feel a lot of people miss that point is like you will have amazing things that you'll do and be a part of, but you still have to be a human being
at the end of the day, right?
And you still got to swallow your pride and take out the religious aspect of this. You know, people, there's a lot of idol worship and people thinking, this, that, the other thing, you must be a bajillionaire. It's like, yo, like, check it. Like 95% of this is hanging on to the bitter end to keep making amazing music.
And listen, and you gotta love it, and you better love it. You better love it. Yeah, you can get down about it. You can get, I wish, but you better love the work. The work is the love to me. That's the journey. The work. It's about the fucking work. Because to me, I want to try to keep my work as sacred as possible. Obviously, people reach out to me all the time and say, hey, I want you to do this. Can you give me a verse? Can you get, if I feel that they're coming in from a respectful angle, let's do it.
Absolutely.
That's gonna be a nice little extra bit of money, sure, but I still got to supplement it with other things, because what you won't see is me on fucking social media being like, yo, I got verses for 200 DM right now in the studio. That's more embarrassing to me than if you were somewhere with a mop and a bucket. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be that guy.
Thank you for saying that.
Go get a job, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Go get a fucking job, bro.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of them. You need one? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel that.
I also happen to rap, and I make money, and I get shows, and I do great. I do, but I also got other hustles I got to do to take care of these 3 kids, this wife, this mortgage, all this shit that I got going on in my life. And I'll be damned if I'll ever hang my head about that. You know what I'm saying?
I take such pride in the fact that rap dudes can sit around talking about mortgages now.
Yeah,
I love that, man.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
You know, it's just it's such growth of the genre, especially where it's like dudes are owning things.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
It's dope, man. I
Sure.
like that. I appreciate you sharing that. Brad, I think we're at about an hour, man. I could keep going, but
yeah, I'm getting the look. I'm getting the look. So
yeah. I felt the eyes.
Yeah,
That's why I felt that.
We saw it.
There was a looming shadow.
It was just like a crack of the door and like.
God bless your wife for watching 3 kids alone right now. Well, you're doing
an
interview.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Great interview, guys. And
time to plug, man. Time to plug what you got coming up.
Oh yeah, so
what's going on?
Yeah, this is shameless self-promotion.
Self-promotion. Yeah, I'm working on a new record right now. Well, I'm just getting started working on a new record right now. It'll drop sometime next year. I guess I could say, like, yeah, fuck it. Me and the Snow Goons are gonna do a follow-up record to your favorite
that was
MC.
one of the first things I heard you on.
We're doing a follow-up. They just started sending me beats, so we're gonna get that out. There'll be like 2 releases next year. The Snow Goons joint is just gonna be like, like probably like an EP, 6-7 joints. And then
we'll take it.
Yeah, and then the Vicious Cycle, which was my record in 2008. We're doing a 15-year anniversary re-release on vinyl. It's never been on vinyl, believe it or not.
Shit.
So that'll be out next year as well.
Limited run on that, or
probably, yeah, man. 100, 150 tops.
Hey, come on. We gotta talk it up, man. It's limited. Don't shake it off. Limited run, man. There's only 100 of those in the world.
There might be like 5 of them Jones for $1,000.
That's what I'm saying.
Like those pops you came out with. I was like, oh man! As soon as I went on the website, they were sold out. I'm like, oh, you're killing me, man.
Shout out to my brother King Face Painter.
Oh, what?
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck though. He told me something that kind of shattered my shit. That made me wait here. He was like, yeah, basically, I just took a Funko Pop of Killmonger from Black Panther.
And he's painted it. Yeah.
You see it now.
Hey, whatever, man. No, that's the Reef the Lost Cauze one.
That's right. But
I appreciate y'all, man. Continued success. Speak.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you so much.
All right, Brad.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right, y'all. Be safe.
Thank y'all for watching tonight. Season 2 off to a great start. Brad, you want to plug something since it's just me and you real quick?
Hey, yeah, I'll plug it. October 30th, Attack of the Killer MCs. You guys already know. We've been posting the hell out of it.
If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, get your tickets. Wear your costumes. We want to see you all there. Last show of the season. Well, last show of the year, really. We're going to be coming back with some more. We got some things in the works for the new year, coming into the summertime. So
all sorts of things. There's rumors of a yacht.
Yeah, I heard
we won't expand on that.
Somewhere.
Also, last thing I wanted to say, the Doing Time Hip Hop Lifers podcast has a Spotify playlist that we're building. That's going to be featuring the artists that we do interview and people within Hip Hop Lifers. So if you haven't submitted tracks yet, get it me, get it Brad, get it Anthony, get it Jesse, Anthony Gonzalez, get it anyone.
There's a post up there. You can leave them in the comment thread. We'll just move them on over.
We want to get you on the Spotify playlist, man, because we're going to be pimping the hell out of that. So,
oh, yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching episode 2, season 2 in the books. Dick Rubin out.
All right. Speak the Rebel. For Speak the Rebel, I'm Dick Rubin.
There you go.
All right. Have a good night, y'all.